Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Marcus from MOTIV8, and we are back for episode number 6. And we have a new guest in the room. You've seen her on other videos, but we're excited to have her in the hot seat of the podcast. Say what's up to Sharita.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, she's in the room. And guess what? We have this great, talented guy.
AV extraordinaire.
If you've been hearing us, you've been seeing us, it has something to do with this man.
9 times out of 10, he touched it first.
Shabbat. And his name is Aiden Burnett. Say what's up to the people, Aiden.
What's going on? How's it going?
If you don't know who Aiden is behind the scenes extraordinaire, but most importantly, if you watch a few episodes back and we had Miss Ashley Burnett on the episode, that's his mama.
Uh-huh.
That's his mama and them.
The queen herself.
Shabbat.
Yeah.
We still shook up.
Yeah.
We still are. So I can tell you right now, though, if you expecting all that Holy Ghost shaking and trembling
From him? Huh.
Aiden will read you for filth. Yes, he will.
Someone's gotta.
Someone's gotta. Here we go. All right, so today's episode, I want to deal with this topic on something that I feel like all of us have, but no one ever talks about, and that is bad habits. Yeah. So let's start out. I'm going to read the definition for a habit for our listeners who take notes because they're out there, wherever they are. So the definition for a habit is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. A tendency or practice that is hard to give up. I'm going to give you the description for a bad habit as well because they're different. A bad habit is a negative behavior pattern. Common examples include procrastination, overspending, overeating. Well, I'm out.
Stop right there.
Yeah. So, a bad habit, negative behavior pattern. Common examples include procrastination. So, let's get rolling on this. Does anybody in here want to fess up to any of their bad habits?
Guest?
Put me on the spot. I'm pretty much what you just said. Procrastination, big, and overeating. But I have been delivered. These past 2 months have been the hardest, but I'm being delivered.
Oh, yeah, because mother dropping these pounds. Come on here. She came in. I said, where did Sharita go?
And it is
Clean.
not easy.
Hey, but it's
And
working.
that's what bad habits are. Hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
Because
But it's
I don't know if I consider procrastination such a bad habit.
a bad habit,
It's
bro.
a
Like
bad
people,
habit.
myself, I thrive on it being the last minute and I need to get it done or turn it in. I did a YouTube video today and we filmed at the last minute and I thrived off of it.
No.
No,
it
I
wasn't
didn't.
We didn't film at the last minute. We filmed at 5 a.m.
Well,
You was thriving.
right.
He was thriving.
Not
everybody.
I was about to give up
It was
life.
possibly the pre-workout, but I was thriving.
No, let's get on the fact. Side note: this man took his pre-workout without any water, just straight up powder. What?
Okay, I didn't chew it.
You ain't drinking,
No, I drank water afterwards. Okay.
bro. It's I don't get it. For me, procrastination is definitely a bad habit. There's no way around it. I know I can thrive in last minute situations, but yeah, I shouldn't have to get that far. Aiden, what you got?
Under eating.
Yeah. This kid won't eat.
Oh.
Like at all.
Only passed out like once. Not a big deal.
Only past.
Just once, right?
I'm sorry. What?
Bro, I remember first time I started hanging out with Aiden, I was like, yo, you hungry? Nah, I'm good. I was like, okay, maybe the kid's not hungry. Next day, you hungry? Nah, I'm good.
Still feel off that cashew from 2 days ago. You know.
No, for real. And I'm like, what did you eat today? I had a Gatorade and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, what? I can't live off of that. I'm like, there's no freaking way.
This man had a kindergarten
Bro,
snack.
he would go from like starting the day off at like 8 or 9 a.m. and we wouldn't leave till like 10.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't eat a thing. I'm like, nah, bro, you gonna start eating around me. I ain't giving you no CPR. It ain't happening. You gonna eat. So how can you undereat? Like,
Just don't eat, man. I'm just never hungry. Never feel hungry, and I don't know.
But as a testament to Aiden, the man is focused.
Yeah,
Guy.
yeah.
Like if it's one thing that Aiden is, it's focused no matter what he's doing. Anytime we ask something, it's already done.
Yeah.
Because he's just on it.
Yeah, which is rare.
Which is the opposite of me.
You said it's the opposite of you?
Why you're
But
around?
would you consider that a bad habit? Of not eating? Well, under eating?
I don't
Health-wise,
consider it as
sure.
a bad habit, but everybody else around me does.
So that's another question. Would you consider it a bad habit if other people say it?
See, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't really care. I'm be honest.
I don't care.
I guess that is if you are like living off people's opinions, then maybe. But if you don't care, like Aiden, then it's like bad
I mean,
habit
there's
to
certain
you, but
opinions
not
that
me.
matter to me of what people think, but eating, no, I don't really care.
Well, I think if someone tells you you're a procrastinator, though, you got to kind of take that into consideration.
Well, I'm sure there are levels. Like, isn't there that one show?
No.
No, there's that one show. The one show that like shows everybody's bad habits. Technically, like some people eat toilet paper every day or Scotch tape or something like that.
Weird.
Yeah, if you're at that level, you got to do something.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're talking about life, what we consider minimal is an extreme to someone else. So I had to learn from me with procrastination and like being late. That was, I've been delivered.
Being late, I have not.
But I would see it as a minimalistic thing. Like, yo, all right, cool. I'll wait till the last minute. But other people who were waiting on it, it was nerve wracking. It was ruining their week, their day, their life. They literally couldn't sleep because they didn't receive what I told them I would give them earlier. Okay. So then it was like, all right, I guess I'm being a butthole about it. I need to hurry up and get it done. But I don't know. I see where you're coming from with like thriving in like that 2-minute warning concept.
It's cool till you get until the editing stage, and you gotta drop the video Wednesday, and it's Tuesday night, and you gotta.
Why you tell the people what's about to happen today?
Right. Welcome to today.
Because we never tell people when we shoot, but it's sure enough is Monday. It's sure enough Monday today. It is real. So, can you break a bad habit?
Absolutely.
Yes, you can break it, but you have to be really determined.
Yeah. Do you want to break it? Do you say I want to break it, but do you actually want to break it?
Right.
So do you believe that 21-day concept of if you do something consistent 21 days, it's considered a habit? Or
I don't believe that. I think it has to be way longer. Because, like, for instance, we'll take the gym. Mm-hmm. I know most that see me, they think he was born with his gorgeous body. But no.
Yeah.
Truth of the matter is.
you gotta chill.
Truth of the matter is, I've been going to the gym, but I started going 4 months straight before it actually became a habit. Like now I can't go through the week without going to the gym or I feel like garbage. Whereas I had to build up to that point. And it wasn't I went to the gym every single day. No, it was I went a day. Maybe I didn't go the second day and then I went the other day. Or there were times where I was still building the habit where I would drive to the gym, not go in. But in my mind, I finally hit the habit of I'm going to drive there at least. And at least I made the effort. If I decide to go in, then that's something else. But at least I made the habit of going. If I waste my time, it's on me.
So you were legit paying for a membership, you wouldn't go in?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, people pay for memberships and don't even leave the house.
Correct.
So.
Very true. That is very, very true. Like, do you consider the concept of ending a habit just to say that you end it, but not really, like you said, wanting to do it just to appease others? Does that happen? And that's why a lot of people can't stick with it?
Like if someone like you're around someone, they don't like that habit. Like say for like a year, you don't do that habit, but then as soon as they're not in your life anymore, you pick that habit back up. Yeah, I think that happens all the time.
So whose fault is that?
Yours.
Yes,
well.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I love it. Yours. It was you. I think when we're talking about habits and we're talking about getting rid of them, how can we encourage people who are in the process of breaking a bad habit, but really at this point is like really discouraged, don't want to keep going? Let's say the overeating, the procrastination, the overspending, because a lot of people are overspending right now, like in crazy debt because they're just trying to keep up with the Joneses. How would you encourage someone to break the habit and to continue? off of some things that, like you saying with the gym, well, you said you ain't changing your under eating. And like with you, what you say, procrastination and overeating. So how would you encourage someone to continue?
I think a lot can be said for how you overcome something. And it really is a mental battle, a mental game. So you can encourage them, have them get goals or whatever, but you really want to focus on them like, hey, you have got to get it in here first. I can't force that on you. I can't make you want it. So these are the things that I did, but you got to mentally really want to do this. Otherwise, I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
We just having a conversation.
That's real. So do you think cold turkey works?
For some people, sure. Yeah.
Depends on your mindset.
Yeah.
Have you all tried it?
Cold turkey?
Yeah.
I mean, turkey's delicious. I don't know.
Cold. Roasted,
Cold roasted?
honey roasted.
Why? You talk about food.
Turducken?
Turducken.
You said turkey.
Let's get into the turducken thing. Who decided that it was a good idea?
It wasn't Spanish people, I'll tell you that much.
He said it wasn't Spanish.
It wasn't anyone in this. Well,
It was a white person.
Who's gonna take a turkey, stuff it with a chicken, stuff the chicken with a duck, and I think they stuff a Cornish hen in there too.
and don't they deep
makes
fry
you
it, or is
space.
that no? No, they.
That's
No, they
trifling,
don't deep
yo.
fried it, but that might be an idea.
That's trifling. That's
Batter it
trifling.
up.
Trifling. Now here's the thing. I gotta ask you this question, Sharita. How did you overcome overeating when you can cook? Because I see you still posting photos of recipes. She did a sweet potato cheesecake.
Yes,
what?
it's a
It was
layer.
sweet potato pie.
It was a layer of cheesecake and then sweet potato pie on top of it, and it was amazing.
Oh, you living lavishly.
I
Huh? You
I
eating
bake
good.
every weekend. I made a Kentucky butter cake.
We're here on the weekends.
That's what I was about to be like. Y'all was gonna say all this cooking. I think it's for the gram because the team don't get to eat none of it.
I ain't tasted it.
I mean,
I've been here
I'm not
5
trying
years,
to be the
Sharita.
tempter. I know
I've been
everybody
here
got
5
goals.
years.
I'm not trying to tempt others. I'm just saying.
We just trying to have experiences. That's all. I just want to experience life. How do you not overindulge in something that you actually do?
It is extremely difficult. So what I've decided is that I'm not going to say, no, I can't have it. What I'll say is I'll have just a little bit of it.
That's tough.
So, and it's tough. It was
That's
hard in the
tough.
beginning, but if I made my mind up that I want to still eat what I want, but if I could just get a little bit of it to just knock off that feeling.
See, that don't work for me.
So yeah, that goes back to
Because I'm
what's your
a-
mindset of how you do it. Because for
Yeah.
her that works, but for
That
someone
works.
else,
I'm a binger. If I have a little bit of it,
Then
my
y'all-
mind is gonna say I don't want to see it there tomorrow because then I'll be tempted again.
That's why I give it away.
Finish it now.
That's why I give it away.
Hold
I
on,
cook
whoa,
and then
you
I give
give
it
it
away.
away?
I give it away.
We ain't got none.
I'm too selfish.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
If y'all trying to get on the list, let me know.
There's a
I will-
list.
That's a list.
I'm trying to find people
are you
to
charging?
give it to.
There's a list.
We'll see. If I'm trying out stuff, then no, I'll let you try. You tell me what you think. But
Dang.
every
get on
weekend you
this
can't be
list.
like, oh, let me try that sweet potato pie again. No, we're not doing that.
So here's the thing. So you're talking about you had the mindset of just a little,
Just.
but we got to give the mindset as well to some people. If you're dealing with drugs, alcohol,
Yeah, that's
anything
You
like
know,
that is harmful to you,
just a little ain't gonna work.
that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Someone be like,
that's
I watched that show Motivate, and they told me a little bit of crack would do. It's like, no,
You need to
just a little bit.
taste.
It's
You
like,
need
no,
to
no, no,
revisit
no, no,
the
no,
cold
no.
turkey part.
Yeah,
No.
the cold turkey, it'll work. It'll work. That and prayer. But how would you say that for you with procrastination? How do you distinguish the two on, oh crap, I need to really hustle on this compared to I got time and I can thrive in this, last minute situation?
I don't know if I can speak on this because I'm not in a position where I have those type of deadlines. At least not anymore because I stopped caring. So if you have a deadline, don't come to me. But I think the way that it works in the real world is if I have a passion for what I'm doing, there is no deadline for it. Ergo, I like doing it. If I'm working a job and it's like, let's say I'm doing a wedding, because back when I did videography and photography, if there was a deadline for
back when you still do it.
no. So back when I did weddings, there's a deadline that I have to meet because I tell them up front within our contract, I have 1 month to edit everything. Yeah. Now, what I do in that month is up to me, I guess. But I usually I used to give them like a short little preview to have them morsel it, savor the video that's to come.
All right, Ratatouille. It's a symphony.
To be able to, give proof of concept for that payment to come in, for the check to clear. Huh? And
then they get the rest of the video.
Exactly. But yeah, I think when it came to the business side of it, I knew that there was a deadline that I had to meet in order to get paid. So it was either I get on top of it now and take my time with it so that it comes out as best as it can be, because I know that it'll benefit me in the future. I put it in my portfolio, another couple sees it, and they see that that's the best work that I can do. Yeah. That's the type of work that they want for their wedding. So that's how I was able to distinguish that. But beyond that, I don't find procrastination to be that much of an issue.
So what would you consider if you had to list one thing that it's like, if I had to get rid of something before the end of 2020, what would it be?
I have no idea. I don't have to get rid of anything other than fat, but beyond that,
nothing.
I don't know.
For 2021? See, I'm dealing with a group of people that this is kind of hard conversation. I got a group of just like stone cold killers at this table right now who's just like, nah, I'm good. Because y'all are all like hustlers. It's just, I'm focused. I'm going to get done what I want to get done.
I have goals, but I'm not like looking to get rid of anything.
Right. I mean, I feel like a bunch of bad habits come from bad insecurities sometimes. So I think people that suffer from those insecurities suffer from voicing or having the voice of people's opinions being louder in their head than their own voice sometimes. But us in this room couldn't give a square.
But I think that goes back to like the overspending concept. You don't overspend, no one wants to spend money just to spend money. Like, just personally, I can just on board, let me go spend money. Like there's a root problem of why you're overspending. There's someone you're trying to get validation from. You're trying to look dope.
Oh, there's even an emotional standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's how you, what is it? That's how you not satisfy yourself. That's weird. That's how you.
Wait, whoa.
That's how you cope.
That's a bad habit. We ain't gotten to the sex conversation this month. It's coming up soon, but dang.
That's how you cope. Or that's how you heal. That's your coping mechanism is to shop. But I've been broke before, so ain't no spending over here.
So is coping considered a bad habit?
No, you got to find a way to cope no matter what. You just got to find a good way to cope.
But can coping become a habit?
Absolutely.
Whatever you do to cope with something, can that turn into a bad habit?
If it is a bad habit from the get-go. Yeah.
No, I'm talking like, so if, let's say, like you have someone who's dealing with death, and it's like, or breakup, and they never had an issue with overeating, but that's how they cope with a relationship failing or something happening. And from that, now I'm no longer concerned with the issue of what I was really mad about, but now I'm stuck with what I used to cope into a habit.
But that's what I'm saying. The coping mechanism was already a bad habit to begin with. If you would have found a better coping mechanism, like going to exercise or something to get your emotional state of mind right, then that would have been a great coping mechanism. But if you got heartbroken and decided to become a hoe to cope, then that's on you.
Well,
we're going to have to bleep that out.
No.
Okay, I was just making sure.
You're the one who edits it.
Last episode, I was told to let loose and...
Well, that's real, though.
Make sure I'm not crossing the line yet.
But, no, that's real. I think a lot of people... There are some people who take advantage of certain situations and use it kind of as a cover-up to say the reason why I'm acting out or this is the way I am is because of this is what happened to me. And at some point, I'm just talking about viewers listening, we got to just be real and say, at some point, you got to own up to it. This is you now. This isn't the situation anymore. Like some people, like you said, who, I had an issue happen and this is why I'm hypersexual. Or this is why I always want to be in a sexual relationship with somebody. And it's like, okay, but now you're hurting other people because you got hurt. That's like that's a bad habit. Like, yo, you got to break that, because at some point you're responsible for the things that you do while you try to achieve whatever your habit is. So like if it is like overeating or something, it's like I had to, for me, I'm still dealing with it. But it's like I've really been within the last week and today after this gym session, I was hurt, y'all.
My hands almost blew chunks.
No, for real. Because I haven't worked out in almost 5 months. Like, I was hurt. But then I got to the house and I literally landed on the couch and I didn't move until around 9:30, 10. And we ended at like 7. And I was so hurt. And I got up and the kids were running and playing. And I was like, I don't have any energy to play with y'all. And it's like, okay, my choice of late night eating, all these things, they funnel and cause a ripple effect into where I can't be who I need to be for you, because I choose that I would rather eat something bad instead of cooking something, or just not eating at all. Because Gabe told me, 6:00? You don't eat after 6 or 8?
No, that was just yesterday. So I go to the gym early in the morning around 4. Depending on the time that I wake up. So I usually stop eating around 6 or 8 o'clock, just so that I don't feel it in the morning when I wake up. Because if I eat at like 10 o'clock, I'm not getting up at 4 in the morning. I'm just not going to have that energy.
Jeez, my God. So if we're talking about someone who is discovering what their bad habit is, and they're just looking over life, and it's like, maybe that's a habit. I smoke a lot. Maybe this, because there's some people who, even if they see it around them and all the red flags are there, they just don't want to accept that whatever it is a bad habit. Like, there's legit people who will smoke a whole pack a day and it's like, it's not a problem yet.
Right.
To them.
Yeah.
Right.
So how can we create some litmus test things here to where it's like, if this is what this is doing to you, it's a bad habit. Like, if it's causing you to readjust your life to be able to allow you to keep doing it, it's probably a bad habit. If you have to shuffle around money to pay for it, and you ain't got it, it's probably a bad habit. I mean, let's get back to hard drugs and stuff. Anything that makes someone go sell a TV and then they're mad that they can't watch it after. It's like, crap, where'd the TV go? You sold it for weed. It's a bad habit. Like, there's real stuff that people have to really address in their life and say, yo, this ain't taking me nowhere. It's not making me grow. How? What's some other things that we can let people see?
I don't know if people can actually figure that out until they hit a rock bottom on whatever their habit is. Because some people aren't affected. Like, let's say you're smoking tree all day or you're having your cigarettes all day. It doesn't affect you until you can't afford it anymore, and then you're in withdrawal, or you're having headaches, or you're having migraines. At that point, sure, like you'll see it, but before that, people will have the mindset of, I can stop at any time. It's not an issue. Okay, so stop.
Right.
So do you think circumstance can sometimes cause people to have a false win in a bad habit? Like, you're saying, like, it'll false start you into thinking that now I'm going to break it. Like, people who smoke tree and, do drugs or drive crazy fast. It's like, you weren't going to stop until you got a ticket or you got locked up or something. And it's like, is that a trigger to say, like we talked about last time, God, I'm going to quit this time. Like, I'm blowing chunks because I drunk too much. God, I'm going to stop. And then it's like, it's a false start. Like, you're just doing it to get out of it for whatever the issue is, but you really don't want to change.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I also think that before you actually hit the wall or hit the bottom, if you can take that time to put yourself out of what your bad habit is and see how it's affecting your life, how it's affecting someone else, and then make determinations from there. Like the example of, I can stop whenever I want. Well, then put the pack of cigarettes down, and how long can you last?
Well, some people can't last half a day.
So those are like ways you can test how attached I am to this bad habit. Can I stop? If so, then yes. But if you need to hit that wall, and some people need to. Yep. Some people need to hit that wall.
No, for real. Like, there's some people I'm looking at, I'm like, you ain't hit the bottom yet.
And you can't tell me people haven't told you about a bad habit before either.
Bruh.
Somebody has said something to you.
And most of the times what the first thing people do is they get defensive.
Absolutely.
When you point something out about someone and they don't want to accept that it is either true, it's affecting them, it's affecting the relationship, that joint will cause you to get ready to fight. Like, I know, like, oh, what is this, an intervention? Yeah.
Exactly
You've got it exactly right. That's exactly what this is. We're not all here just to have a party. We're here to tell you, Tyrone Biggums, you need to stop smoking crack. This is what we're doing. But I feel like sometimes we let it get way too far.
Yeah, you just got to learn to check yourself. And a lot of the times...
That's a cuss word. People ain't going to do that.
You got to.
How would you tell someone, like, to check themselves, though?
I mean, it's more obvious than you think. Like,
Aiden would literally say, check yourself.
He absolutely would.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But, like, that's, like, people around you. Like, if someone's in the corner talking about you and you know they're talking about you, check yourself. Like, you got something going on. You need to... But it's right in front of your face. You just choose not to see it.
Yeah. I just feel like also when we're talking about bad habits, and we always keep saying this, assess your circle. Assess if your circle is doing the same thing that you're doing habit-wise, and have you literally cornered yourself into a society or a culture of people who are going to validate you continuing to do the mess that you do. Like, if you know, like we talked about cussing, if that's your bad habit and you keep hanging around people who only cuss, you won't get around anyone who doesn't to make you feel as though you're off.
Right.
It's like, dang, I feel out and awkward if I don't cuss because I'm around people who always cuss. The same thing with smoking. And I'll just be real with you. I love everyone. If you smoke cigarettes, I love you. But you will not ride in my car. Yeah, it ain't going to happen. Like, legit, to the point where people who say after they get done quitting cigarettes, like, the smell of it makes them, like, sick because they've been around it so much. It's caused them to think that it's normal about, like, that is their smell. Or being around people who smoke, it doesn't feel normal. And then when they get out of it, it's like, I can't believe that was me. Like, I was the one, like, you hear the commercial, I was the one who got up every 15 minutes out the party to go smoke a cigarette. It's like, I missed so much time. It's like, how do we get people, and I know this goes back to the testimony conversation, how do we get people to accept someone telling them, yo, you're about to go down a road that is not pretty, because I've gone down that road.
You've got to say it like that, too. You have to say, this is what that leads to. I have been there, and I'm trying to help you to not have to go through the things that I did, because let me tell you, this is where it's leading. I promise you that. Yeah. And to be completely honest, don't sugarcoat it. Don't make it seem like, well, some bad things can happen, but you can turn it around. No, like, get to the nitty gritty of what it felt like, what I lost, what happened to the people around me. Everything that happened that dealt with that bad habit. And if somebody would have told me, like, I need you to listen because this is what's going to happen. And even if that doesn't make them change, like, right away, it'll play in the back of their mind. They'll remember it. They'll think about it.
Even if it's too late, they'll still always remember it. And They can always come back and say, at least they were real with me. Because I'm straight. You want to keep sleeping around? I got two things for you that's going to happen. Pregnancy, herpes.
Or both.
Or both.
Don't let it be both.
One thing going to happen or the other. You want to keep smoking? Lung cancer. Or death.
Yeah.
Or both. It's just like, yo, here's the real. There is no, well, maybe you'll beat the odds. It's like, no, like, fool, the statistics say you keep doing this thing. Enough people have done it to where you're guaranteed to do this after. Like, it's like gateway drugs. It's like, yo, you try to go a little bit harder and you want to drink something and do something a little crazy, it's going to lead to something else.
You also got to think about the eyes that are on you, man. Like, you're always influencing someone no matter what. Your actions will always influence someone around you.
Always.
If you show that smoking cigarettes or smoking tree or cursing all the time is something normal or something cool, and that's not going after anybody. I've seen kids that grow up around that, and then the number one thing that they start doing is emulating that or wanting to either smoke or start cursing people out and stuff like that. I'm like, in what world do you believe that's benefiting anybody?
Well, we live in a generation now in a world where it's like you can't tell me how to live my life. You can't tell me I'm free to be who I am. And it's even harder as a believer because it's not only am I a friend telling you, yo, get yourself together. They also tag on, but you're a Christian too, so now you're judging me. It's like, yo, it's like, yo, you can't judge me, only God can. Duh, fool, that's why I'm saying something. Like, duh, like that's the point. Like, it's automatic. Some people just automatically close their ears is the moment that and it's not even like I'm coming in and saying like, yo, Jesus said repent or you're going like it's just like, yo, you keep doing this. Oh man, you just another one in the Bible thumb. Like, yo, I didn't even bring you no scripture. It's just facts are facts.
I don't even know the scripture. I'm just telling you.
I know it's somewhere in the New Testament around John. I know it's over there somewhere. I got it highlighted.
I heard the pastor say something about it.
Pastor said something.
Right.
I think as we're closing this one out, I'm really concerned about people, especially now, especially with quarantine and COVID and stuff. A lot of people have dropped back into old bad habits because a lot of people who were able to communicate and get around other people and environments, they are now secluded. And when you're left alone with yourself, if you're not strong enough, you'll fall back into some mess. So how can we encourage people right now in this season of COVID who's sitting home and are ashamed to say that they're back into something that they thought they got over? How do we encourage them? Let's all not jump at once.
I don't know what to tell the people.
Yeah.
You're wrecked, buddy.
See you after quarantine.
Right.
Yo.
I hope to see you again is all I'm saying.
I don't know. I just want to encourage people to let them know, like, yo, you did it once.
Yeah. And I think that everybody has, if you did it once, you do have a support group somewhere. There's somebody that you can still reach out to, even if it's not, in person anymore. Pick up the phone. Zoom is everywhere. So there are ways to be in contact with other people, with those that were helping you through it, that you can still do it and still remember why you are stopping that bad habit. Whether it's you need to take some meditation time, do something else at home. Marcus, do something else at home to get your mind off of it. But there are ways to get around focusing on that bad habit that is detrimental to your health. Like overeating is bad. A lot of people in quarantine probably have done it.
Everybody
quarantine 15, you know what I mean?
Or 20.
Right, 25. There's that. And, we'll probably make it out without, diabetes or something. But
diabetes. RIP.
But, if you're doing something that's detrimental to your health at home, or to your family or to other people, then still seek help,
I would say remind yourself that it does not make you weak to fail. It doesn't make you weak to continue to fall. You have to have the mindset that even if you fall back into that habit, as long as you decide to continue to try and get over it, you're making progress. What's the saying? 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or something like that. I think it's worse. 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Well, reverse that mindset. Have your 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but know that you're still making progress, even if it's slow. It's still something.
Well, I also say at some point though, it's got to end.
It depends on how bad the habit is, man. Some things are really hard to break. At some point, you got what are them? Not soul ties. Demonic something on your life or something like that. Generational curses. Yeah.
Well, since you went there, let me tell you about this man named Jesus.
You got demons.
You got demons. Up and out. Deliverance.
Angels from Africa. Angels from Africa.
You're off the top. We're like, what are you summoning? Rafiki?
Oh,
like,
God.
what in the Lion King is going on here? But for real, like, yo, there are some things, and let me preface this because I'm gonna follow this up with, because a lot of people give you spiritual guidance and not earthly ways to assist. So let me give you the spiritual. There is not a habit that you have that God cannot help you break.
For sure.
Period.
Absolutely.
But with that, there are some tangible things that God has gifted people with in organizations that can help you. So this is how we're going to help you. Not only are we challenge you to look over your life and find the habits you have, we're going to list every helpline and every help website that we can find and put it in the caption of this video. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to find them. If you're dealing with suicide, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with overeating, if you're dealing with addiction with pornography, if you're dealing with sexual addiction, if you're dealing with anything, if we can find it, if you're dealing with self-harm, if you're dealing with these things that people don't talk about anymore because they're afraid to be judged, if you're dealing with sexual identity because you're worried about who you are and you kind of really don't understand at this point the thoughts that you're having, if you feel as though you can't talk to anyone about it because you're worried, you'll be chastised or kicked out of your family, we are going to find a way to make sure that you can get connected to a support group, free help, because a lot of people will use the excuse, and this is how the enemy will get you. You ain't got the money and your insurance won't cover the help that you need. Well, the devil is a goddamn lie. We can get it to you for free. There's numbers that you can call. There are people that you can connect with. There are 12-step programs that are free. If you're dealing with alcoholism, if you're dealing with drugs, if you just don't even want to talk about it, there is anonymous groups you can join and you can feel safe and you don't have to feel as though you'll run into someone that you know and they're going to run back and tell their mama. We got you covered. So we're going to find it. But the challenge is, will you be secure and real enough to say, I got an issue. I got it. Because there are habits, but habits form into addictions. And there is a difference. A habit is something that, all right, this is just a bad character trait. Addiction will take you up out of here.
Yep.
And that'll cause you to lose everything. Everything I just listed can cause you to lose your family, lose your job, can cause you to lose your friendships. It can cause you to lose your mind. And truth be told, it can cause you to lose your identity into who you are. Even if as a believer, you feel as though you have an identity in Christ, if you allow yourself to get stuck and lost in these things, it'll cause you to even question your faith because you'll do anything to justify what you've become addicted to. So we're going to list these things. We want you guys to really check it, find it. And here's the thing. Maybe everybody around you isn't crazy. Maybe you. And that's okay.
It's probably you.
Yeah, it's you for sure. It's
you for sure. But I'm just saying, you had 99 friends and now you got one. They all not wrong. Somebody's telling you. But you got to play back, like Sharita said, just reconvene those thoughts and be like, someone did tell me about this. I just shuffled it to the back of my mind. Remember, find it. Think about it. Cry about it. It's okay. Cry about it. But get over it and get to work. Because there's greater things on the other side of it. So that's our challenge for today. Figure out the habits that you have in your life that you can break, because all things are breakable with God. And we want you guys to live on purpose and live in love. Love somebody this week on purpose, because the world is crazy.
Yeah.
Full-blown crazy.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else before we close this out? We want to thank Aiden and Sharita for coming on the show.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all made it real fun.
Wonderful input.
Wonderful input.
It's good to be here.
Beautiful job. Dynamite.
Catchphrases. When do we start doing those? Well, let me stop before I can find my own. All right, we'll catch y'all next episode. Peace.